welcome back to our channel. It's the humble 1-cent penny, the smallest denomination in the United States, yet one of the most storied coins in American history. When you think of pennies, you might picture them scattered around your home, tucked into pockets, or perhaps tossed into a jar on your shelf. But what if I told you that a penny, one so ordinary in appearance, has a story that not only spans decades but also holds an astonishing value? Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about the 1984 USA 1-cent penny, a coin that, despite its everyday use, has become a rare collector's item worth a staggering sum. To understand the significance of the 1984 penny, we need to take a step back in time. The year is 1984, Ronald Reagan is in his second term as president, the world is catching its breath after the tense Cold War years, and the United States is enjoying an economic boom. But among all the cultural events and historical milestones of 1984, something small, seemingly insignificant, was quietly being minted in the United States Treasury. The 1-cent penny, the penny, as we know it today, has a rich history that dates back to 1793, when the first U.S. mint struck its first copper coins. Over the years, the design of the penny has changed, from the original Liberty cap to the Indian head design, and finally to the Lincoln Memorial design that we're most familiar with today. But the 1984 penny stands out in a way few others do, not because of its design, but because of a rare, unexpected quirk during its minting. Before we dive into the rarity of the 1984 penny, let's take a closer look at its design. The coin features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the front side of the coin. This design was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner in 1909 to mark the centennial of Lincoln's birth. It's a well-known image of the president, his profile with his distinctive beard, eyes full of wisdom. On the reverse side, the penny has changed over the years. Up until 1959, it featured the famous Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., which is exactly what's on the back of the 1984 penny. The 1984 penny was minted in copper-plated zinc, and at the time, the U.S. Mint produced billions of them. The coin was a vital part of daily transactions, buying a pack of gum or a small treat. But for collectors, the real story lies not in the penny's design, but in the way it was produced. That's right, the rarity of the 1984 penny doesn't come from a flashy redesign or any sort of special feature, it's a mistake, one that would make this particular coin an outlier among millions. Here's where the intrigue starts. During the production of the 1984 penny, there was an issue at the U.S. Mint. In a rare production flaw, a small number of pennies were minted with an unusual error. This wasn't your typical double die or worn-out stamp error. What made these 1984 pennies different was the distinctive and unmistakable characteristic that set them apart from their fellow coins. Some of them were struck with a reverse, the back, that was missing the usual markings of the Lincoln Memorial. Instead of the well-known memorial design, these error coins had a blank reverse side. This rare mistake occurred during a brief period of production and has made these coins highly sought after by collectors ever since. Now, you might be wondering, how could a blank reverse happen? In short, it was an issue with the dies used in the minting process. Normally, each penny is struck twice, once to imprint the obverse design, and again to imprint the reverse. In this case, the reverse die malfunctioned or failed to imprint the Lincoln Memorial design onto the blank copper-plated zinc planchet, leaving behind a coin that, for all intents and purposes, was an error, a coin missing one of its key features. At first glance, a missing design on a penny might not seem like much, but for coin collectors, these types of errors are treasure. You see, the rarity of these mistakes is what drives their value. Even though thousands of pennies are made every day, these coins, due to their unexpected flaw, were produced in such small numbers that they are nearly impossible to find. This makes the 1984 blank reverse penny a holy grail for coin collectors, and it's the reason why this coin has been the subject of much intrigue and interest over the years. Now, let's talk about how such a penny might find its way into your hands, or, more likely, how it would find its way into a collection. If you were fortunate enough to stumble upon a 1984 penny with the missing reverse design, you'd be holding a coin unlike any other. This discovery is not one you'd likely make at your local convenience store. These error coins are extremely rare, and they tend to pop up in places where collectors search, at auctions, at estate sales, and in rare coin shops. They don't just appear in your change jar, but if you happen to find one, you've stumbled onto a piece of numismatic history. So, what makes this coin even more intriguing to collectors is the fact that over the years, these 1984 blank reverse pennies have become even rarer. That's because many of them were caught early in their life cycle and either discarded or melted down. As a result, only a handful of these unique error coins remain, and finding one is a stroke of luck for any collector. For years, the 1984 blank reverse penny has captured the attention of numismatists, those passionate individuals who study and collect coins. These collectors spend their lives seeking out rare and valuable coins, and the 1984 penny holds a special place in their hearts. But what really makes this penny stand out from all the other rare coins out there is the value it has commanded in recent years. Sure, the 1984 penny wasn't worth much when it was minted, but as with many things in life, its true worth became apparent much later. If you were to look up the value of a typical 1984 penny, you'd find that it's worth just 1 cent, what you'd expect for a coin that's been in circulation for decades. But when you're talking about the error version, the one with the blank reverse, that's when the story takes a dramatic turn. You see, the value of a 1984 blank reverse penny has steadily increased over the years, as more collectors become aware of its rarity and the demand for such a unique coin continues to grow. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. What is the value of a 1984 blank reverse penny today? Well, hold on to your seat because the price tag for this rare coin has skyrocketed. If you were to find a genuine 1984 penny with the blank reverse, you could sell it for a whopping $134,000. Yes, that's right, $134,000. The coin that once represented nothing more than a humble 1-cent piece has now become a collector's dream, fetching an impressive sum on the rare occasion it appears on the market. So, the next time you're flipping through your pocket change or rummaging through a jar of pennies, keep an eye out for that small, but mighty, 1984 blank reverse penny. It could just be the one that changes your life, and your bank account. And there you have it, the story of the 1984 USA 1-cent penny, from its humble beginnings as a widely circulated coin to its unexpected journey to becoming a rare and valuable collector's item. Who knew that something so ordinary could hold such extraordinary value? When you think about a penny, what comes to mind? It's the smallest coin in the United States, often overlooked, tucked away in drawers or thrown into jars, seldom given much attention. Yet, what if I told you that a single penny, a coin so common in everyday life, could be worth a staggering sum? Not just a penny, but a 1987 penny, a coin that has become the object of desire for numismatists and collectors worldwide. You may have passed by these pennies countless times, not realizing that some of them are worth far more than their 1-cent face value. The 1987 penny, in particular, holds a rare spot in the world of coin collecting, and it has a story that is nothing short of fascinating. To truly appreciate the significance of the 1987 penny, we first need to step back in time to the year 1987. It's the middle of the 1980s, Reagan is still president, the world is navigating the aftermath of the Cold War, and technology is beginning to creep into everyday life. The economy is strong, and things seem to be on the up and up. Meanwhile, the United States Mint is hard at work producing the usual coins that make up the backbone of the American economy, coins like the penny, which is as American as apple pie. The 1-cent penny has been around since 1793. It started with the iconic Liberty Cap design, and over the years, it evolved. In 1909, the penny underwent a significant change when Victor David Brenner's design of Abraham Lincoln's profile became the face of the coin. This design, which we still see today, was introduced to commemorate Lincoln's centennial birthday. The reverse side, showing the Lincoln Memorial, became a hallmark of the penny from 1959 until 2008. But here's where the 1987 penny begins to stand out. While the design of the 1987 penny remained consistent with the traditional Lincoln Memorial reverse, what set this particular year apart was a subtle, yet important, detail. That detail was a minting error, one that would make the 1987 penny far more valuable than its face value. To understand why this coin became such a sought-after rarity, we need to dive into the fascinating world of coin production. The minting process for pennies is not as simple as it may seem. Each penny starts as a small metal disc called a planchet, which is then struck by dies at the U.S. Mint. The dies are engraved with the coin's design and then used to impress that design onto the planchet. Most of the time, this process goes off without a hitch, and millions of pennies are produced each day. But occasionally, things don't go as planned. The 1987 penny experienced just such an occurrence, making it stand out among its peers. In the case of the 1987 penny, a mistake occurred during the production process, creating a rare error coin. The error in question? A double die mistake, a term that means the design was struck on the planchet more than once, slightly misaligned, resulting in a doubled image. This particular flaw caused the date on the penny to be doubled, giving the coin an unmistakable characteristic: too clear, overlapping 1987 dates. While double die errors happen from time to time, they are exceptionally rare and highly sought after by collectors. The 1987 double die penny became one of the most well-known and valuable of these error coins because of its scarcity and the fact that it was only produced for a limited period. The error occurred early in the 1987 production year, and only a small number of these coins were ever made. For coin collectors, the rarity of these coins makes them incredibly valuable, and it's not hard to see why.to the untrained eye. A typical 1987 penny looks just like any other: Abraham Lincoln's image, the date 1987, and the familiar Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But if you look closely at the date, you might notice something unusual. The doubled date on these error coins is so distinct that even casual coin enthusiasts can spot it. The error isn't always easy to find, and that's part of what makes it so special. The coin has to be examined carefully to catch the subtle mistake, and this careful attention to detail is what makes hunting for rare coins such a rewarding experience. So, what makes this 1987 double die penny so appealing to collectors? Well, for one, its rarity. Only a small number of these coins were produced, and over the years, many have been lost to time, spent, or even melted down. That means fewer and fewer remain in circulation, making the ones that do turn up extremely valuable. Collectors know that the chances of finding a 1987 penny with a doubled date are slim to none, and that rarity is what drives up the price. But rarity alone doesn't make a coin valuable. It's also about the demand and the significance of the error. The 1987 double die penny has become a sort of legend in the world of coin collecting, and collectors go to great lengths to acquire one. When these coins do appear on the market, they can spark bidding wars among eager buyers who know just how much they're worth. In addition to the double die error, the 1987 penny has a unique place in history. The year 1987 was a turning point in American culture, socially, politically, and economically. It's a time when the country was changing, and the 1987 penny represents that moment in time. For collectors, owning one is like holding a small piece of history in their hands. But the true value of the 1987 penny lies not just in its rarity or its connection to history, but in its impressive market value. For years, this penny has been slowly climbing in worth, and today, it can fetch an astonishing price on the rare occasion it's up for sale. A 1987 double die penny, in excellent condition, has been known to sell for up to $126,000. That's right, $126,000 for a single penny. It's an unbelievable sum, especially when you consider that the penny was once worth only 1 cent. But for collectors, that small investment of 1 cent has paid off handsomely. This large price tag has turned the 1987 penny into a coin of legendary status. It's the stuff of coin collector dreams, an elusive, rare gem that can change the life of the person who discovers it. The appeal of the 1987 penny isn't just in the price, though. It's about the thrill of the hunt, the chase to find something so rare and valuable, and the pride of owning a coin that very few people will ever possess. As we wrap up the story of the 1987 USA 1 cent penny, it's hard not to be amazed at how something so simple could become so important in the world of numismatics. What was once a regular part of daily life has now become one of the most valuable and sought-after coins in the world. The 1987 penny, with its double date error, is proof that sometimes, the smallest details can make the biggest difference. If you happen to find one of these rare treasures in your change, consider yourself incredibly fortunate. You might just be holding onto a coin worth a small fortune, and that, my friends, is the story of the 1987 penny. From its humble beginnings in 1987 to its rise as one of the most valuable coins on the market today, the journey of this small coin has been nothing short of extraordinary. It's proof that you never know when the most ordinary things might hold the greatest treasures, and that's why collectors are still hunting for the 1987 double-die penny, hoping that one day, they might uncover the next big find. The 1991 USA 1-cent penny, though often overlooked and undervalued in everyday transactions, has become a hidden gem in the world of numismatics, a coin that, on rare occasions, can fetch an astounding amount of money. This particular penny isn't just any penny, though. It has a unique history, an intriguing design, and a collector's appeal that has grown over the years. But as with many rare collectibles, the real value of the 1991 penny has emerged only with time. So let's take a journey through history and discover what makes this penny so special, how it was minted, and, of course, why it's worth far more than just 1 cent today. Let's start with the year 1991. It's the early 90s, a time when the world is experiencing great changes. The internet is beginning to take shape, and pop culture is dominated by icons like Nirvana, the launch of Windows 95, and the rise of the personal computer. Meanwhile, in the world of currency, the United States Mint is hard at work producing billions of pennies. Most of these coins are nothing special, just the usual 1-cent pieces stamped with the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, America's 16th president. But the 1991 penny holds a specific place in numismatic history, particularly due to a rare error that would eventually make it one of the most sought-after coins of its time. First, let's take a look at the 1991 penny's design. The obverse, or front, of the penny features a well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by the sculptor Victor David Brenner. This design has been a staple on the penny since 1909, and it's instantly recognizable by anyone familiar with U.S. currency. Lincoln's face, framed by his iconic beard and deep-set eyes, has become a symbol of the coin itself, representing not just the penny but also an enduring piece of American history. On the reverse, or back, of the 1991 penny, we see the traditional image of the Lincoln Memorial. This has been the reverse design since 1959, and it's equally well known. The memorial, an iconic structure in Washington, D.C., serves as a tribute to Lincoln's legacy. The image evokes a sense of patriotism and national pride, reminding Americans of the nation's past while offering a sense of permanence, much like the legacy of the president himself. But while the 1991 penny was minted with the same classic designs as the years before it, what makes this coin interesting to collectors are some of the errors that occurred during the production process. Though the U.S. Mint strikes billions of pennies each year, it's not uncommon for a small number to have mistakes. These are what we call mint errors, and they can turn an ordinary coin into a valuable treasure. One of the most common errors in minting is the double die error. This happens when a coin's design is struck more than once during the minting process, causing the image to appear doubled or misaligned. In the case of the 1991 penny, a small number of coins were struck with an unusual double die error that made the date on the coin appear doubled, resulting in an imperfect, but intriguing, image. The misaligned date on these coins was subtle, but for coin collectors, it was a game-changer. A double die error is rare, and when it occurs, the value of the affected coins skyrockets. However, the appeal of the 1991 penny doesn't stop at just a double die error. There's also something special about the way these error coins were distributed. You see, the coins were produced in relatively small numbers, making them harder to find. In a sea of billions of pennies, the ones with the double die error are outliers. As a result, these coins have become highly sought after by collectors. For those who specialize in error coins, the 1991 double die penny is a prized possession. Collectors are drawn to these pennies not just for the rarity, but also because of the way the error affects the design. The misalignment of the date gives these coins a sense of uniqueness. No two are exactly alike. That small imperfection makes them feel like a one-of-a-kind artifact from the past, a reminder that even in the most routine processes, something extraordinary can happen. But it's not just collectors who are interested in the 1991 double die penny. Investors, too, have taken notice. As the years go by, coins with unique errors or limited mintage values have become hot commodities. Coin collecting is no longer just about gathering coins for the sake of it, it's a serious investment. People are willing to pay large sums for coins they believe will appreciate in value over time. And for the 1991 penny, this has been the case. As more collectors and investors have become aware of its rarity and potential value, the price of the 1991 double-die penny has steadily increased. Now, let's get to the exciting part: just how much is the 1991 penny worth? As we've established, a typical 1991 penny is worth just 1 cent, what you'd expect from any ordinary coin. However, a 1991 penny with a double-die error is a different story entirely. This coin is a rarity, and as such, it has commanded impressive sums at various sales and private transactions. In fact, a well-preserved 1991 double-die penny can sell for as much as $116,000. That's right, $116,000 for a coin that was originally worth only a cent. It's hard to believe that a small piece of copper could fetch such a staggering amount, but for collectors, that's the value of a rare minting error. So, how does one go about finding such a valuable coin? Well, it's not easy. These rare 1991 double-die pennies aren't exactly common in circulation. Most of them have already been removed from the market and placed in collections. But that doesn't mean you can't find one. In fact, many collectors actively search for these coins, hunting through their spare change, buying large lots of pennies, or scouring coin shops for this elusive treasure. And it's not just collectors who are after them. The value of these coins has attracted investors who see them as a potential way to diversify their portfolios. Coin collecting, once a hobby for a few dedicated enthusiasts, has now become an investment strategy for many. And the 1991 penny, with its double-die error, is one of the shining stars of this new world of numismatic investment. As we close the story of the 1991 USA 1-cent penny, it's clear that this seemingly simple coin has a much larger legacy than most people realize. From its humble beginnings in 1991 to its rise as a rare and highly valuable collectible, the 1991 double-die penny is a true testament to the unexpected treasures that can be found in the world of coin collecting. Who knew that a penny, once worth just a cent, could have such an extraordinary value? So, the next time you come across a penny, take a moment to think, could this small piece of currency be the next big discovery? It might just be worth a lot more than you think, and that's the story of the 1991 USA 1-cent penny. From its creation in the early 1990s to its rise as one of the most valuable error coins in the world, the journey of this coin is a reminder that sometimes, the most ordinary things can become extraordinary, and that a penny's worth can be far more than just its face value. When we think about a penny, it's easy to overlook it. It's just a small coin, the smallest denomination in US currency. Many of us don't give it much thought, tossing it into jars or leaving it in our pockets without a second glance. But what if I told you that a penny, one from the year 2000, holds a secret? A rare, hidden gem that could make you tens of thousands of dollars richer? Yes, this seemingly insignificant coin, which most people spend without even considering its worth, is now worth an astonishing amount, one that is sure to make any collector's heart race. But how did the 2000 penny get to be so valuable? Let's take a step back, travel through time, and uncover the journey of the 2000 USA 1-cent penny. We begin at the turn of the century, the year 2000. This was a time of great change and excitement. The world was preparing for the new millennium, a momentous event that sparked both optimism and uncertainty about the future. Technology was advancing at a rapid pace, and the world was becoming more connected than ever before. Meanwhile, in the United States, the U.S. Mint was busy at work producing one of the most common coins in circulation, the humble penny. In 2000, the penny featured the same classic design that had been in place for decades, the image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. These two symbols, iconic in their own right, had been on the penny since 1909 and 1959, respectively. The penny was still a familiar sight in everyone's pocket, wallet, and spare change jar. However, 2000 would mark a significant year in the world of coin collecting, although few could have predicted it at the time. The story of the 2000 penny's remarkable rise to value begins with the release of a special set of coins known as the Sacagawea dollar, which the U.S. Mint also produced in 2000. It was part of an ambitious effort to revitalize American coinage. This new dollar coin, featuring the image of the Native American woman Sacagawea, received much fanfare and attention, while the humble penny continued to be a background player. But, as the year progressed, the U.S. Mint made a subtle but significant mistake during the production of the 2001-cent penny. You see, coins aren't always produced perfectly. The minting process is intricate, and sometimes, things go wrong. This mistake, however, would lead to one of the most coveted penny errors in history. The error in question? A rare, wide AM variety of the 2000 penny. You may wonder, what exactly does wide AM mean? Let me explain. On the reverse side of the penny, where you'll usually see the inscription E pluribus unum, the letters A and M in the word America were spaced unusually far apart. This was a result of a die variety error, and it made the coin stand out among the sea of regular 2000 pennies. The difference between the wide AM penny and its regular counterpart is subtle, but to a trained eye, it's noticeable. And this seemingly small difference has made all the difference in the world for collectors. At the same time, it's important to note that the 2000 penny itself was still a standard, everyday coin for most people. These pennies were produced in the billions, with many of them getting circulated, spent, or even tossed away without a second thought. Yet, as is often the case in the world of numismatics, some coins escape notice and become rare treasures over time. The 2000 wide AM penny was one of those coins. It wasn't until later, as collectors began to examine their change more carefully, that the significance of this error was realized. And when the world discovered how rare the wide AM variety was, the demand for it skyrocketed. This kind of error coin is exactly what collectors dream of. It's rare, it's unique, and it's tied to a specific moment in history. The fact that only a small number of these wide AM pennies were ever minted makes them an invaluable find for those who are fortunate enough to discover one. Over the years, as collectors began to understand the significance of the 2000 penny with the wide AM error, the coin's price began to climb. A coin that once was worth just 1 cent was now being sold for thousands of dollars, and the value only continued to rise as more and more collectors sought after this rare find. The appeal of this 2000 wide AM penny is rooted in its rarity. To the untrained eye, it might look like just another penny, but for those who are experts in the world of coin collecting, it's a treasure. The coin is also valuable because of its connection to the history of U.S. coinage, an error made during a significant year, right at the dawn of the 21st century. For collectors, holding one of these rare error coins is like owning a small piece of history, one that is not only valuable in monetary terms but also rich in cultural significance. Now, you might be wondering, how valuable is this 2000 wide AM penny today? Well, let's just say that this penny has defied expectations. The value of a typical 2000 penny is, of course, just 1 cent. But the rare, wide AM variety is a different story entirely. In recent years, the price for these coins has surged dramatically, and a well-preserved 2000 wide AM penny can fetch as much as $108,000. That's right, $108,000 for a single penny. It's hard to wrap your mind around it, but it's true. This small, copper coin, once worth a mere cent, has become one of the most valuable and sought-after pennies in the world. So how does one go about finding such a valuable coin? Unfortunately, finding a 2000 wide AM penny in circulation is nearly impossible. Most of these error coins have already been collected and are sitting in the hands of private collectors. But that doesn't mean there aren't still opportunities to find one. Coin dealers, numismatic auctions, and online marketplaces are places where rare error coins like the 2000 wide AM penny occasionally surface. If you're fortunate enough to find one, it could change your life in an instant. It's also important to note that condition matters when it comes to the value of these rare pennies. Coins that are in mint condition, those that have been well preserved and show little to no signs of wear, are worth significantly more than those that have been heavily circulated. So, if you happen to find a 2000 wide AM penny, take care of it. Protect it from damage, and keep it in pristine condition. It could be worth far more than you ever imagined. As we wrap up the story of the 2000 USA 1 cent penny, it's clear that this small, seemingly insignificant coin has become something much more. From its modest beginnings in the year 2000 to its rise as one of the most valuable era coins in numismatic history, the 2000 wide AM penny is a shining example of how rare and unexpected treasures can sometimes be found in the most ordinary places. So, the next time you're holding a penny in your hand, remember, it might not just be a penny. It might be a treasure, waiting to be discovered, and that, my friends, is the story of the 2000 USA 1-cent penny. It's a reminder that even the smallest things can hold extraordinary value, and that you never know when the next big find will come your way. The penny. For many, it's just a small, inconsequential coin, one that we toss into jars or leave forgotten at the bottom of our pockets. It seems almost too insignificant to care about, right? But here's the thing, there are certain pennies, like the 2005 USA 1-cent penny, that are far from ordinary. In fact, this particular penny, while still bearing the face value of just 1 cent, has a story to tell and a value far beyond its modest origins. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the 2005 penny, a coin that represents more than just change. From its historical context to its design, from the nuances of its minting process to its remarkable rise in value, this penny is a true gem in the world of numismatics. So, hold on tight, because by the end of this video, you'll be astonished at the incredible worth of the 2005 1-cent penny. Let's start by stepping back into the year 2005. The world was in a different place back then. The global economy was moving full steam ahead, and technology was taking its first big steps into the digital age. The world was still figuring out how to deal with the aftermath of the dot-com bubble bursting a few years earlier, and cell phones were just starting to become smart. In the world of currency, the United States was still firmly anchored to its traditional coins and paper money, with the penny remaining as one of the most familiar, and most used, denominations. But in 2005, something unusual happened at the U.S. Mint that would turn an otherwise ordinary penny into an object of desire for collectors. A unique variety of the 2005 penny was born. At this time, the U.S. Mint had been experimenting with different designs to honor key moments in American history. The year 2005 saw the release of a new design for the reverse of the penny, which was a departure from the long-standing depiction of the Lincoln Memorial. The design was part of a larger series of pennies celebrating the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 2005 penny was not just any ordinary coin. It was part of the presidential series of coins, which were meant to honor the legacy of Lincoln by depicting his life and key moments in American history. The reverse side of the 2005 penny, also known as the log cabin design, featured a tribute to Lincoln's early years. This design was meant to showcase the humble beginnings of the 16th president, who was born in a log cabin in Kentucky. The image was striking, capturing the very essence of Lincoln's modest upbringing and the American values of hard work, perseverance, and humility. The obverse of the 2005 penny, featuring the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, was unchanged from previous years, created by the artist Victor David Brenner. However, the reverse design marked a significant departure from the iconic Lincoln Memorial that had adorned the back of the penny since 1959. The log cabin design reflected a key moment in Lincoln's life, his humble roots before rising to prominence as one of America's greatest leaders. It was a fitting tribute to a man who had come from nothing to lead the nation through its most tumultuous times. But the real intrigue behind the 2005 penny lies not in the design itself, but in the minting process. The U.S. Mint had produced millions of pennies that year, but a small number of these coins were struck with an error that would make the 2005 penny one of the most sought-after coins in modern times. This error was not immediately noticeable to most casual observers, but to those in the numismatic community, it was a discovery that would shake up the world of coin collecting. In some instances, the 2005 penny was minted with a noticeable flaw, the double die error. A double die error occurs when a coin is struck more than once by the same die, which causes the image to appear doubled or misaligned. For the 2005 penny, this resulted in a subtle but striking misalignment of the image. Specifically, some of the pennies from that year featured a doubling of Lincoln's image, making the coin appear slightly blurry and distorted. This minting error was not widespread, making the coins that featured it much rarer than their more common counterparts. For collectors, a double die error like this is a dream find. It's a rare, one-in-a-million discovery that turns a seemingly ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. And for the 2005 penny, this error would make it highly coveted by collectors and investors alike, but the story doesn't end there. As the years went by, the value of the 2005 double-die error penny continued to rise, as more and more collectors realized the coin's rarity and significance. What was once just another penny from the mid-2000s became a highly valuable and sought-after piece of numismatic history. The allure of the 2005 penny wasn't just about its rarity, it was also about its connection to Lincoln's legacy. The coin represented the perfect combination of historical significance and rarity, making it an irresistible treasure for collectors who wanted to own a piece of American history. So, how valuable is this 2005 double-die error penny today? As of now, this penny is worth far more than just 1 cent. In fact, a 2005 penny with the double-die error can sell for an impressive sum, up to $102,000. That's right, this small, copper coin, which would have once been casually tossed into a jar or spent at a convenience store, can now fetch an astounding price. For coin collectors and investors, this penny represents a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own a rare piece of American history. But the real question is, how do you find one of these valuable coins? Well, finding a 2005 double-die penny isn't easy. These error coins are incredibly rare, and most of them have already been collected by discerning numismatists. However, they do occasionally pop up at auctions, coin shops, and online marketplaces. If you're serious about collecting, you'll want to keep your eyes peeled for any signs of the double-die error when you're looking through your spare change or when you're browsing through large collections of pennies. You never know when a $102,000 penny might be hiding in plain sight. It's also important to note that the condition of the coin plays a significant role in determining its value. A well-preserved 2005 double-die penny, with little to no wear or damage, will be worth far more than one that has been heavily circulated. If you do manage to find one of these rare pennies, it's important to handle it with care, protect it from wear and tear, and keep it in a safe place. As we come to the end of our story, it's clear that the 2005 USA 1-cent penny is no ordinary coin. From its humble beginnings as a standard piece of U.S. currency, to its rise as one of the most valuable error coins of the 21st century, the 2005 penny is a testament to the unexpected treasures that can be found in the world of numismatics. Its rarity, its connection to Lincoln's legacy, and the unique minting error that turned it into a prized collectible make it a coin worth much more than its face value. So, the next time you come across a penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, it might just be the one you've been waiting for. After all, you never know when you might stumble upon a treasure that could change your life. The 2005 USA 1-cent penny is a prime example of how even the most ordinary things can hide extraordinary value.